Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/ACAST and use code ACAST at checkout.
You're ready for a comeback. And with Purdue Global, you can do more than take classes. You can take charge of your story, of your career, of your life. Earn a degree you can be proud of and get an education employers respect. It's time, your time, not just to go back to school, but to come back and move forward with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
Explaining football to the friend who's just there for the nachos? Hard. Tailgating from home like a pro with snacks and drinks everyone will love? An easy win. And with Instacart helping deliver the snack time MVPs to your door, you're ready for the game in as fast as 30 minutes. So you never miss a play or lose your seat on the couch or have to go head-to-head for the last chicken wing. Shop Game Day Faves on Instacart and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives, the podcast where a monogamous couple drink heavily while recapping Sister Wives on TLC.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and we are back again recapping a brand new season of Sister Wives. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you're returning, welcome again. And for those of you who never left us, thank you for your eternal love and support.
The Fidelis is real.
This episode is called No Such Thing as a Free Lunch.
Season 18, Episode 1. But it kind of feels like an Episode 0 in some ways. I feel like TLC knew that they pulled in a lot of people who have not been watching the show in the off-season here, so they had to drop in a recap. This episode wasn't for us, the loyal fans, the followers, the rewatchers, the watchers and the rewatchers.
You have to do the watcher voice now.
I don't even remember what the watcher voice is. It's been so long since I watched it. We binged it like the week it came out, and I haven't watched it since. What does the watcher voice sound like in my head? I don't know.
It was very deep. That's all I can tell you.
So deep.
Okay, that was Elizabeth Holmes, so I think we're going to have to rewatch so that you can...
There's only so many voices I can channel. Well, that turned into Martha Stewart at the end, so you got to be careful.
But yes, this was, as someone on our Patreon Discord said, the longest previously on Sister Wives ever.
Pretty much. But the TLC description for this one is Christine has moved, but the fallout from her divorce remains. Janelle, Meri, and Robyn struggle to plan the upcoming holidays as the family continues to be divided. Then things get tense when Kody and Christine sit down for the first time since she left.
Just sitting there at Salsa Brava.
This episode was brought to you by Salsa Brava.
Ready for the rewrite?
The first rewrite of season 18. Excited to hear it.
Okay, a lot of pressure.
No pressure.
Janelle prepares to ditch her kid's deadbeat dad. Meri invites Kody to like both her and Robyn's turkeys. Robyn starts to question if she's been living in reality.
A lot of turkey talk this episode. I was not prepared for it.
I love that Meri's back on the sauce.
Yeah. Some may say she never left.
She just hit it a little better.
At least something's hitting.
All right. Before we jump into the episode, a few announcements.
Twitter doesn't really exist anymore. So
it doesn't. It's called X. That is, in fact, a true statement.
It's no joke.
The platform previously known as Twitter.
Right. So since that's not really a thing anymore, join our Discord for new episode chats and GIFs that you would normally see when we were live tweeting. We're basically just doing that on the Discord now as part of the Patreon virtual cul-de-sac that you can join. How do you ask? You might wonder. Join the Patreon. You go over to patreon.com/survivingpod. You can check out all the fun tiers, all of the benefits. You can listen to this episode ad-free, as well as seasons 1 through 10 on our archive rewatch.
Man, I cannot believe we have recapped that many episodes of Sister Wives.
And didn't we just wrap up season 11? Or
Yes.
what was that?
At this point,
that was, oh my gosh, season 11 was so long ago now.
12.
We
We're
just
done with
finished
12. So I feel like we can call ourselves experts in Sister Wives. Like, haven't we reached the point, 10,000 hours, where you become an expert?
We'll have to ask Christine if this counts as expertise, because she's the one to grant that and bestow that title.
As some of you may have noticed, Discovery giveth and Discovery taketh away. And they have decided to take away airing the episodes before they're available on cable on Sundays.
Right, so there's no more first thing in the morning on Sunday waking up to watch Sister Wives.
Instead of going to church.
I wasn't planning on going to church anyway. That's okay, though. But I think Max, formerly known as HBO Max, man, a lot of stuff is changing. A lot of stuff is different.
It's hard to keep up with.
It's tough to keep up with the times, but we do our best, don't we? They're going the Max route now, formerly known as HBO Max. They're releasing them right at 10 p.m. Eastern on Sunday evenings. They're becoming available there.
Which actually, we found kind of fun this week. To have everybody watch at the same time. We were all in the Discord, on the Patreon, chatting together, reacting in real time, rather than having so many of us watching at different times of the day.
It was a good shared viewing experience that we were able to all participate in and enjoy.
So head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod. And if you sign up at any tier, $5 plus, you will be able to join the Discord as well. Of course, I'm sorry, Basement Wives. That's not a benefit you receive, just like the many, many, many other things in your life.
But somehow it's still your fault, too.
That Discovery Plus is not airing the episodes early.
I think it's their fault in general that Discovery Plus decided to change that just because the Basement Wife's attitude have been so bad.
Let's set the scene a little bit because, as we know, some of us were under the impression that there was going to be a jump in time.
None of us.
None of us.
None of us.
Some of those out in the Sister Wives universe said, there's no way we're going to pick up where we left off in 2021. Of course we are, because the producers of this show do not leave even 1 second of footage on the cutting room floor. So here we are. We're picking right back up where we left off, which is fall of 2021 before Thanksgiving. Christine moved to Utah in September. So it's been a few months since she left. Christine and Kody made their public divorce announcement on social media November 2nd. Janelle moves off of Coyote Pass and into an apartment a few days later. The COVID vaccine has been available since the beginning of the year, but now there are new variants beginning to spread. Season 16 of Sister Wives started November 21st, 2021, just before Thanksgiving, which is perhaps why some of them maybe didn't want to spend the holidays together, because this is the COVID season where they're all at each other's throats, and that's kind of a Robyn joke. And Robyn's whining about getting blamed for the rules. So that's kind of setting the foundation of where we are in the actual timeline as we start this episode.
And on the previously on Sister Wives segment at the beginning of the episode, it's basically just Kody blaming all of his wives for his shortcomings in their relationships.
Yeah, it's a lot of flashbacks to the stupid things that Kody has said to Christine, Meri, and Janelle in the last season.
A highlight reel, if you will.
His best or worst moments?
Best and worst.
I feel like to Kody, Robyn is more important. I thought was interesting for them to once again include for the audience.
Really trying to drive the point home, if you haven't picked up on that already.
And then, of course, the opening ends with the fight at the She-Ra Chateau where Janelle walked off and then came back. And we go right into a brand new intro.
The new intro, how do we feel? I felt like this was something very Discovery, like it was from Crikey, It's the Irwins or something, or like, I don't know. Or it felt more like Naked and Afraid kind of a title, which that might just be a summary for Meri.
I was getting like a UFC fight night type thing.
Okay, yeah, a little something there.
And the interesting thing to note is that there's still only one ring that falls off the logo.
Well, technically, at this point in the timeline, Meri has not left.
No, but they're not really giving away what's going to happen this season, whereas last season, right away, we saw that ring drop off and we knew Christine's gone.
So then we get hit with an understatement alert, where Kody is letting us all in on a little secret here that the family relationships are just a bit strained right now. Just a little bit.
No, they're actually involved in a civil war. This is the Great Brown Family Civil War of 2021.
Well, I love how that's where it starts. Things are a little strained. It's basically like our family is in a civil war right now. That seems like it would be more than just a bit strained.
Also, I'm thinking, Kody and Robyn, you're outnumbered. So that's probably also not great as we approach the beginning of a war.
He sounds a little stuffed up, too. So maybe this was right around the time where he was getting over his life and death 99.6 degree brush with COVID.
It's been a year since Christine decided that they were divorced.
Because that wasn't up to him.
Nope. Meri's still around, but they haven't really been married for 7 or 8 years now, according to Kody. That is pre-catfish. If we're backing into the timeline, assuming that talking head was filmed in 2021, where does that get us? That gets us to just prior to the legal divorce. Remember? The one that had nothing to do with the state of their relationship, which was just wedded bliss and was purely so that Robyn's kids could be adopted?
A paperwork shuffle.
Yeah, that one, the paperwork. So that makes the theory that's been around for a long time that she went along with the legal divorce just in an attempt to perhaps repair her relationship with Kody or win his favor in some way, have a little more credence to it.
Well, and technically, Cody's not lying when he says they basically haven't been married for about that time, because that was when the legal divorce took place. So they haven't been married.
Actually, technically.
Very literally.
According to the law.
Yeah.
Things with Janelle are strained, and he has no idea what the holidays are going to look like this year. Probably a lot like last year.
The holidays are in question, and the family isn't talking to Kody. So yeah, I'd say put me down as a tentative, as a maybe.
Does that come with a big wink?
Yeah.
A maybe.
Maybe.
And it's almost winter, so surprise, Janelle still hasn't managed to build her home on Coyote Pass.
Oh, you mean the construction hasn't finished yet? They just haven't cleared off the rest of the dump trucks and the bulldozers.
Right.
And everything else. They're just working on those finishing details, trying to get everything polished.
She does have a driveway.
Oh, that's nice.
That's it.
You're going to need that for the RV.
And that's because Kody and Robyn haven't managed to fork over the cash that they need to pay off the property yet. So they have not done one thing to build her house other than her coming up with blueprints for it.
So Janelle has to haul this RV off to winter storage, but she's still holding out. She's trying to build on this land, but they had to keep buying all these other houses, and that really gummed up the works.
But that's Cody's solution to this whole problem. They had to buy Christine a house. They had to buy Robyn a house. They should have bought Janelle a house.
And just to be clear, Robyn did not want to buy a house. She wanted to build on the land. It just so happens to work out that she got a pretty sweet house out of this deal, but rest assured, she did not want that house.
Does she want it now, though? Because that house has appreciated in value. And if they really wanted to get out on the land as much as Robyn claims that she does, perhaps you put your house up for sale and you use some of the profits from it to pay off the land.
So you can start developing and building right now. But I think she probably needed some sort of flip chart diagram to show her that the house value is here. And then if we don't do anything, it's going to be all the way down here, down to 0, less than 0. It's going to be, we'll owe twice as much money on the house than it will be worth if we don't sell it.
So that's where Janelle messed up, because we know Kody's made blueprints before, plan went nowhere. That's the direction she went in. She should have gone to Kinko's. She should have blown up a PowerPoint presentation with a bunch of numbers that actually make no sense and talked Robyn into it.
I think that would have conveyed the message better. Yes, I do.
Where are things with Kody and Janelle? They're bad. They've been bad. They started being bad during COVID. We find out finally about some of these phone calls that Robyn received, and that it was Garrison who made a call to Robyn. Now, we don't know if this is the same call about the rules necessarily, but it was a call in which Garrison called Robyn and asked if they could have their dad back.
And Kody didn't like that at all. But by the way, the answer was clearly no.
The balls to make that phone call with those exact words. So, hey, bitch, you think that I could have our dad back now because he's been secluded in your home for a very long time?
Quarantine's up. We're done. Oh, I like the story behind the story that's going on in this scene, too, because Janelle's kind of directing traffic on what needs to go into storage. There's stuff that needs to go here, stuff needs to go there. I'm so glad that she specifically called out the septic hose.
Yes.
And what needed to be done with that, so Kody could have his own little Vietnam flashback moment in his head about being covered in shit at that RV park on their one summer road trip vacation.
Do you think she cleaned out the hose before she put it away? Or is that the job she's asking Kody to do?
That would be great, yeah.
You know, the one where it was the kid's fault?
Yeah, I would save those types of jobs for Kody to do, specifically. You haven't been around. You haven't been fetching water the way that we have, so you get to clean the shit.
That was all bad enough. But Kody's a narcissist, right? And he's upset that Janelle isn't treating him like a victim in his divorce and focusing all of her time and attention on helping him heal because he's in pain.
Well, he's tender. Not tender aged, just tender.
As tender as Robyn's turkey?
Maybe not that tender. But he's just upset that Janelle isn't worshiping the ground that he walks on.
Long story short, they're all miserable.
I love that Janelle is outright telling Kody that she prefers to be around Christine rather than being around Kody at this point, which who can argue with that?
And that's a great segue because now we are over in Salt Lake City, Utah, where Christine is smiling and giggling as she welcomes us to her new home in Utah.
Kody's salty and Christine is Salt Lake, baby.
Her lower third now says ex-wife under her name.
She's beaming. She's glowing. She is showing off her little bookshelf behind her. It looks cute. It's cozy. It's all comfy.
I thought it was a different choice for them to make the room look very different.
Well, her shot looks better, too. So they're using a nicer camera, too. The lighting's very nice.
Oh, no. Kody's going to start complaining.
Yeah, he's going to be getting jealous that the screen time is looking way nicer on Christine's side.
There's lots of tension from the aftermath of the divorce and the unknown of what the family is going to look like moving forward. This is where Robyn tells us she thinks it's so screwed up that they have to figure out who will be coming for the holidays and that some of them might do Christmas separate, which is almost exactly like what you did during COVID, dummy.
That was a whole year ago. That was different.
Well, it was different because it was on their terms.
I didn't know that the family unwillingly and unwittingly signed an agreement with Robyn when she joined the family to forever do holidays all together.
And at her home.
Well, she didn't have a home when she first joined. It was just a rental down the road.
I guess to be fair, Kody had canceled Christmas before she came into the family. Remember, that was her contribution to bring Christmas back.
They wouldn't even have Christmas if it wasn't for her. But we're still worrying about Thanksgiving. We can't even get through that.
Kody is getting on his soapbox about how everyone has made choices along the way. Amazing how little introspection he has, because this speech was intended to highlight the choices Christine and Janelle have made. He doesn't want to hear about how they're victims because they've made choices, but so did he. He cannot see that he has made choices for years, well before COVID, that affected the relationships in his life. But he wants to cash in the victim card for being blindsided by getting a divorce, and he wants to blame Janelle for the state of his relationship with her kids.
The kids, which are old enough to see the scenarios, see what's happening, and make their own assessments about what's taking place and who's at fault for certain situations. I just think it's very interesting that Robyn was talking about how she wants to go back to the way things always were, and that is an incredibly narcissistic thing to say, because there is that desire to go back to the way things were when there was control over everybody, when everybody was willing to play along, and when everybody was willing to bend to the will of the people who were solely focused on themselves.
Well, life was a lot better for her then.
It was very simple. Can we please go back to that? No. Everybody is aware of what's taking place now, so we can't go back to being ignorant and blind to the scenario.
We're still talking about this RV. Janelle reveals that she kind of regrets buying it in the end now. It was supposed to be a fun adventure, but in reality, it actually kind of sucks.
Yeah, so then she starts retracting the RV flaps or the wings. I don't know what you call them. I'm not an RV guy. I don't RV.
Isn't that the part where the dogs sleep, according to Brianna and Aurora?
Well, technically, the whole thing is where the dogs sleep, I guess. But Kody starts yelling about how great it's going, but then Janelle thinks that something's wrong, so she has to stop, and scared her.
I think her exact words were, "I heard your voice, it scared me."
Yeah, like when he pops his head through a kitchen window on several separate occasions so far in this series.
Is that our marker for when we know a marriage is over on this show?
It's when Kody does the Jack Torrance shining through the door.
Just generally when his voice starts to scare people. Then there were so many good lines in this episode that I feel like people probably overlooked that had a much deeper meaning to them. Because then Janelle's still talking about the RV, and she says, "When it wasn't easy and it wasn't all comfortable and it was hard, Kody got disillusioned very fast. And it was very easy for him to blame me for all of this," which is a paragraph you could take completely out of context of the RV and apply it to every single one of his marriages, because that is how poorly he has done plural marriage.
Pretty much. And I mean, if you thought that moving was hard, as Janelle describes it, moving with this group is like brain damage. Back in, what was that, season 2? So moving is always a strain on any relationship, but now more than ever for Kody and Janelle with the current state of their relationship. This is a bit of a tense move, to say the least.
It does seem, though, like this conversation with the RV took place before they had that fight about the holidays. They're getting along too well. He's too helpful. It's not awkward enough.
That might have been, end of October, but before the walk-off fire pit fight.
Well, we know that she sent this thing off into storage like November 7th. She posted about it on Instagram.
So if they were packing things up from it, it might have been towards the end of October, because she was moving into her apartment, which that was probably beginning of November. So maybe they just didn't actually roll the RV out of there until a week later or so.
Anyway, she's bringing the tea this season because she still thinks that they're going to build a house on Coyote Pass, but it turns out there is a clock that is starting to tick very loudly.
Yeah, we just got to pay off this land, and then we can break ground, and we only have 1 year to pay it off.
Because, of course, they didn't have traditional lending on these lots. The seller financed them to them. So there is an end date to the loan by which they have to have paid everything off in full, or this person has the right to foreclose on the land just like a bank would foreclose on your home.
It's time to pay up.
Can you imagine, though, being the person who holds this loan and watching them buy Robyn's $900,000 house while you're still waiting for them to pony up the money for the lots they bought from you years prior.
I hope they're not a fan of the show. I think that they would be very upset at this point.
The number of QVC boxes and gumball machines in Robyn's home, man. Could have bought a whole nother lot.
Easily. Well, now Christine's back in Flagstaff. Yuck. Gross.
Gross.
Visiting Janelle and her kids, which that's nice. They're going to spend the day putting together a bookshelf in Janelle's new apartment. And we're using steak knives to cut the cardboard on the box that it was delivered in, which I can't suggest you do that. I don't want to do that.
Why?
It's dangerous. It's a serrated edge.
All right. Well, I don't think she knows where the scissors are. She probably had to eliminate scissors when she was living in the RV. It's just too many things. There's not a junk drawer. Minimalism. This is the smallest apartment that she could have possibly rented, is it not?
It's pretty tiny. And, well, it's full of stuff. This is like you just moved in. You weren't setting things aside. You weren't placing things in the rooms where you were going to unpack them. You were just get this stuff off the truck and get it in there.
Remind me, didn't we see this apartment last season? Remember after Kody was sick, he came over and he complained about how he couldn't fit his nightstand?
It was tiny, yeah.
So he's been here.
It didn't look like it was this full of stuff. So maybe this is a little timeline shuffle that's going on.
It's a miracle that anyone could remember details like this, given that was a year ago, right? How long ago did we watch that?
It was a while.
It feels like forever.
But then we get a fun little backstory about how Janelle and Christine really didn't get along too well at first. Janelle thought Christine was kind of a princess because that was what Kody kept telling everyone in the family at that time, I'm assuming. And Christine thought that Janelle was bossy.
Really? Then what was Meri?
Meri was...
bitchy?
a dictator.
But now Christine declares Janelle is still her sister wife. And I cannot wait to see Robyn sob about that at the tell-all.
There's plenty of best friends that consider each other sister wives, so why wouldn't we?
Okay, the irony that was the selling proposition for my sister wife's closet in being able to sell jewelry outside of their community was the cherry on top.
See if you can market that idea, Robyn.
Then Janelle tells Christine that she's got blueprints for her house on Coyote Pass.
And we're looking to break ground this spring. The Fajita Casita.
Coming soon.
Work in progress. Opening soon. Grand opening spring 2022.
Poor Christine. She's like playing along with this dream that Janelle has, but she knows they haven't paid the property off yet. So I'm not going to place any bets on this thing being built by spring.
Oh, and neither is Kody. He's the first one to tell you outright, no, I don't see us paying off the land by spring.
But don't you need to come up with the money? What, is it a difference of like 6 months? Because she's saying they have to have it paid off in a year.
He's probably just waiting for Bitcoin to spike again. He's going to get out of that nice and clean. He'll sell the rest of his GameStop stock, and then he'll be in business.
Well, unfortunately, Janelle still has access to the family accounts, and she knows they still have the money to do this. They have the same situation financially that they had when they helped Christine buy a house, when they helped Robyn buy a house. So really, the issue here is nobody's watching out for me.
Did you love that Kody was trying to say that paying off Coyote Pass is very difficult? It would be tough to do at this point in time. A down payment on a house, that's easy. Anybody can do that in 2021. No big deal. I don't think that he's in touch with reality, if that's what he's thinking at this point.
I guess it depends how much you put down on your house. You don't have to put down 20% on a house.
You can put 0% down on a down payment on a house.
That's what they've got.
That's what they've done in the past. That's why it's so easy to do that. Super easy. It's not hard at all.
So as they're building these shelves, they take the opportunity to rag on Kody a little bit, because this is our little ex-wives club we got going on now. He always needs a beautiful assistant because he can't let anyone else help when he's working on a project. So it's just your job to stand there and look pretty and hand him things.
So now Christine is working and Janelle is beautiful assisting.
And Christine is cackling about how, the one thing she really misses though, she really enjoyed criticizing Kody the whole time that he was working on something.
Yeah, usually if things got a little too tense, it became her job to start asking ridiculous questions just to upset Kody during the process. Kind of intentionally, but not really intentionally, but sort of intentionally.
At least she was able to spark joy for herself in that marriage before she made her way out of it. But it's time to chat the holidays, because that is really the central theme of this entire episode. And Janelle tells Christine that Kody thinks the boys need to have a conversation with him and owe him a big apology, to which I say, did we clear that up?
Well,
I thought we cleared it up.
Yeah, it used to be. It was an apology. And then Kody was saying at the fire pit chat, no, don't need an apology, just need to have a conversation. We still need to talk.
So then did this happen before the fireside chat? Because she still thinks that an apology is owed.
Seems a little unclear at this point. Janelle did take a moment to go ahead and clarify that she and Savannah will not be in attendance at Robyn's house on Thanksgiving, because basically it would just be Janelle and Savannah showing up to Robyn's house with her weirdo kids and Meri just lurking around in the back. It's not really what we're looking to do this Thanksgiving.
Why would we do that?
That
sounds weird.
Very strange. Not interested, thank you.
Can confirm it was weird since we watched it.
Oh yeah, we saw it happen. It was weird.
Then we get Kody's side of the story. He's telling the producer that he wants to have a conversation with Janelle's boys prior to the holidays to clear the air. And it's sounding like he has good intentions, right? He wants to make sure the holidays don't get ruined by some type of disagreement coming up in conversation.
Something political, something COVID, or Kody's experience directly with having COVID, which I'm sure he would bring up at some point and then get upset that people are talking about COVID.
Which also kind of happens later when he talks to Christine.
Correct, yeah. And aren't most of those topics not allowed to be discussed at Robyn's house anyway? So what does that matter?
Yeah, I thought we laid those rules down before. But this is Kody Brown, right? So I'm imagining the way he's positioning this isn't how it would actually play out, and that it would ultimately become a blame game type situation. I don't think it would be a positive conversation anyway.
Not constructive. Not at all.
And too bad for him, because Janelle is choosing her kids just like she will choose the dogs. She will choose the kids. She is not picking Kody and Robyn. She is not going to hang out with the B crew over at the She-Ra Chateau because her boys aren't invited.
So Kody's angry, and he's blaming Christine for breaking up the family, because who else is at fault here aside from Christine?
Wow, this was mind-blowing. And Christine tells Janelle, and let's point out that Savannah is also standing there in the room with them, that Kody told her that the family breaking up is her fault. And she wants some reassurance from Janelle. Is that the way that you're seeing it too? That me leaving is the reason why the family is breaking up? And right away, Janelle's like, no. But Savannah looks bewildered.
To which I don't know if this conversation needs to be happening in front of Savannah, but then you also have to think, how many conversations has Savannah overheard living in the RV with Janelle this past year? Probably a lot. There's not a lot of space in that RV. How many phone calls do you think Janelle's been taking, talking with Christine, or even just conversations when Kody does swing by for a couple hours before he would go back to Robyn's house?
As he sits outside and stares at the She-Ra Chateau from down on Coyote Pass.
I think I gotta get going home. Over to Robyn's. I have to leave.
Then Christine asks the $1 million question. If Kody says it's my fault that I had a bad relationship with my sister wives, then why isn't it his fault if he has a bad relationship with his kids?
Because that's a standard that he's comfortable holding other people to, but not himself, obviously. That's why.
Can they turn this around? Janelle's not so sure.
Well, Kody's just so tired of doing all the work to hold this family together.
Do you think he's got a little post-COVID, what is that going on?
Brain fog?
When people have, what is that called when you have the post-COVID thing?
Long COVID?
Long COVID. Think he's got long COVID?
That's impairing his ability to recount what the last 10 years have been like?
Well, he's just so exhausted. He can't put in the effort to keep everyone together anymore.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's long COVID. It's not exhaustion from... What has he been doing? He hasn't been doing anything, so he has to come up with another reason why he's so tired.
And here's where I think the cracks start to widen for Janelle. She can't be in a full relationship with Kody if he's estranged from her children.
Well, and Cody's not going to respect you in a relationship if you're constantly undermining his ability to be a great leader.
Sure. And we know Janelle's always bragged about what a great dad Kody is, which has always been confusing to the audience.
Well, that was the only thing that Janelle would ever fall back on, because it was everybody else's list of all the faults with Kody. And Janelle would go, yeah, but he's a great dad. That was always her response. But he's a great dad. And now she doesn't have that.
If that's not who he is anymore, then who is he?
A big old turd.
She is on a journey that she doesn't even realize right now, which is, do I still like this man?
Not so much.
No,
Not really. No.
Nope. It's going to be pretty easy to figure that out pretty soon here.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
If you're ready for an epic family vacation, there's no better place than sunny Orlando. Exciting thrills, never-ending food festivals, fresh new dining experiences, outdoor adventures, and Florida's natural springs, and so much more. Orlando has it all. And Visit Orlando's vacation planners can help you plan the perfect trip. In Orlando, anything is possible if you can imagine it. And that's what makes Orlando unbelievably real. Plan your escape today and save at visitorlando.com.
Explaining football to the friend who's just there for the nachos? Hard. Tailgating from home like a pro with snacks and drinks everyone will love? An easy win. And with Instacart helping deliver the snack time MVPs to your door, you're ready for the game in as fast as 30 minutes. So you never miss a play or lose your seat on the couch or have to go head-to-head for the last chicken wing. Shop Game Day Faves on Instacart and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
Hi, this is Jonathan Fields, host of The Good Life Project, where each week I talk to listeners about investing in their future by increasing their own vitality. But when it comes to those financial goals, whether it be saving for a home renovation, growing your child's college fund, or travel, life can make it difficult to stay the course. By working with a dedicated Merrill advisor, you get a personalized plan and a clear path forward. Having the bull at your back helps your whole financial life move with you. So when your plans change, Merrill's with you every step of the way. Go to ml.com/bullish to learn more. Merrill, a Bank of America company. What would you like the power to do? Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, member SIPC.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Over at the She-Ra Chateau, Meri comes over to have a conversation with Robyn.
Well, I was saying Meri's popping in for a visit at Robyn's, but it's not actually in. It's November 2021, but we're going to still have to seat outside because Rora still hasn't caught the Rona. So we're on an outdoor visitation regimen right now.
Let's chat about this because there are a lot of theories on why there still aren't cameras allowed inside of Robyn and Kody's house.
Right, because at this point, this is November-ish, 2021.
This is 2021 still.
So Delta and Omicron were just taken off. This was going to be the holiday spike at the end of 2021. So even though vaccines are readily available, but clearly not at the She-Ra Chateau.
Right. We know that they chose not to get vaccinated and that everyone in the house did have COVID to some extent, because did Kody really, really get COVID? I mean,
he tested positive a couple times, yeah.
And Rora didn't. So is this really some conspiracy where Robyn and Kody don't want the cameras inside their home? Or is it that the production crew is not going to go into a house full of people who haven't been vaccinated for COVID?
And who recently had COVID sweep through this house. It might be a production safety protocol.
Because we did see them inside Janelle's tiny apartment.
We sure did.
We know Janelle and Christine did get vaccinated. We don't know about their kids, like Savannah, who was there. But
could be if there are not regulations being met to meet the standards for filming, then you would have no other option but to continue filming outside.
I think we may get some answers to this next week with the Rora storyline, depending on how they film that. So let's put a pin in that for now. But we're going to sit outside on what looks like a makeshift bench. Did you see? It was like a piece of plywood.
Oh, I did not see what it was. No, I wasn't really focusing on what they were sitting on. Meri forgot a coat because she thought this was going to be inside, I guess. And then she quickly realized, oh no, we're still on the outdoor stuff.
Can we talk about how insufferable Robyn was with her comment to Meri on this? About how it reminded her that Kody gave her some coats for Christmas?
Well, I like that it immediately became a shaming moment.
Because Robyn searched high and low. She had to wait a long time for those coats to go on sale on QVC. Because you know she shopped for those gifts. Kody didn't. And she wants to know where the fuck they are.
I seem to recall Kody purchasing a lot of coats for you, Meri. Are they all back at home, hanging in your closet all alone?
Meri returned them.
Not being used.
Their entire interaction struck me as weird. I was starting to question if Meri may be realizing that perhaps she can't fully trust Robyn.
Oh, I think she's known that, and that's why this is all weird. It's all weird interactions.
That probably combined with the fact that Meri is on pins and needles to see if she'll run into Kody, because this is the only place that she gets to see him.
And she basically just sees him in passing whenever she happens to be visiting and Kody is at the house, which is like 99% of the time.
And this was Meri's first banger of the episode. People have referred to us as friends, but friends talk to each other.
No, Kody was referring to them as friends. She's heard Kody refer to her as a friend, and she was like, I thought friends talked, though. We don't talk, so are we friends? Is that what we are? Is that what this is?
I'm sorry. I love Meri's bitchy sense of humor and the fact that it's not really a joke.
So Robyn has to go root around in one of the closets. She has to move some QVC boxes out of the way, kick them to the curb here. And then she's going to go ahead and let Meri borrow one of Kody's coats because she's not going to fit into any of Robyn's tiny, tiny, extra small coats that she wears.
Just adding insult to injury that it happens to be one of Kody's jackets. To which Meri says, aw, it'll be like he's given me a hug.
No, not really. Probably not.
This harkened back a memory for me of when we first met Robyn and she had Kody's coat on and she made sure to tell McKelty that it smelled like Kody.
It's a weird thing to say to somebody's teenage daughter. That's for sure. Made me uncomfortable.
And there was a time when Kody would give Meri his coat to wear, but that was a long time ago. And then she threatens that perhaps she'll steal this leather jacket and take it home for herself, and I can only assume sleep with it under her pillow each night.
And hope to one day manifest a Kody of her own. But Meri's last visit here was when Kody was berating everybody around the fire pit. Remember that? That was just a couple weeks ago. Not too long ago.
And it's time to chat about holiday plans once again.
Because Robyn's got to make sure that her kids have a good Thanksgiving. I don't give a fuck about what anybody else is doing. I want my kids to have a good Thanksgiving. That's all that matters.
That's all it's ever mattered, Robyn, and that's the problem. I'm not really a big picture kind of girl.
You're going to be here, right, Meri? Because that's the only way my kids are going to have a good Thanksgiving.
Meri is literally annoyed and is like, yes, Just like I've been the whole fucking time during COVID. I've been here.
I'm always here. I'm here as much as I can be. I'm not giving up like everybody else. The dynamic duo are back at it again. Turkeys on turkeys.
And this will be the second Thanksgiving where it's just Robyn and Kody and their kids and Weird Aunt Meri.
And Meri. But Robyn's doing the turkey again. We're getting that right out the gate.
Well, important questions. Meri asks, are you going to do the turkey again?
Had to confirm. See, I like that Robyn had to ask Meri if she was going to be there before we start confirming the food. And I feel like I might have needed to know some of that information up front. Who is preparing the food that might determine whether or not I'm in attendance? Just saying.
Well, we all know the Thanksgiving turkey is a sore spot for Meri because it used to be her job before Robyn commandeered it last year.
Like so many other things in Meri's life.
And unfortunately for Meri, Kody really liked Robyn's turkey, of course. So they agree that she can make the turkey again this year.
Kody used to like Meri's turkey until he had Robyn's, and that's just as bad as it sounds.
I loved this. He could have liked them both if he wanted.
He could have. Meri's is sweet. Robyn's is savory.
It's different. That's what he signed up for.
But he's not going to do that. He's just so tired of holding this family together.
Meri loves a good innuendo when she has a drink or two in her.
Single-handedly. But Robyn goes into full disaster mode. What's that word? What's that word for feeling like just everything in the world is falling apart and it's just bad? What is that word?
Robyn's that COVID meme with the dog sitting in the middle of the fire with all the toilet paper all around him.
This is fine. Clearly, Robyn does not have a throbbing vocabulary. She could not think of this word.
She is struggling. This is all about her. Everyone is ruining her life, and now she's depressed because of them.
She's trying not to feel hopeless. She's struggling so bad. She's trying to just not cry constantly, which that sounds like a normal day for Robyn, doesn't it? Just constantly on the verge of tears, just fighting it back, holding it in.
And now she's ready to flip the script on everyone because COVID's started to make her think.
Dangerous pastime.
What if what I thought this family wasn't actually real?
Is this real life?
And she just wants to sit down and figure out if there were issues she didn't know about. So we're literally just sitting there talking about if issues existed before COVID.
Well, I love that she knows that there were issues. Clearly, every marriage has its issues. But was there stuff I didn't know about? Just the fact that she's reaching for dirt at this point in time. But it's from Meri. Meri doesn't know what's going on in anybody else's life, but she's trying to dig back into the past to figure out, all right, what's the scoop? What did I miss?
But we know the scoop. Watch the show, Robyn.
It was you, Robyn. You were the problem.
We've been watching everyone have issues for years.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
We have to take a break from this conversation, though, because the TLC editors learned that they can intercut conversations.
I would say, see, that's what I thought was happening at first, and I got very impressed. I was like, wow, they're intercutting a conversation. That is not what happened. Intercutting would be playing between two conversations, but we just kind of drop off of one conversation mid-sentence, start another one, and then go back to conclude that one later.
Well, here we are. We are introduced to a new restaurant where serious conversations will take place this season called Salsa Brava.
And Christine's contract clearly stipulates that she will only be filming at Salsa Brava this season because she also has an upcoming conversation with Janelle in the same space.
To be fair, if I were her and I had to go all the way back to Flagstaff to film this stuff, I would stipulate that I need to have meetings at a restaurant that serves tequila.
I would be very strict about which places I would be comfortable filming, and that's the only place that this is going to happen.
Well, Christine has invited Kody here today to discuss things divorced people have to discuss, like co-parenting.
But Kody wasn't really doing any parenting. So it's going to be very difficult to do co-parenting now.
And he really doesn't want to do it. He didn't want to come today.
Well, go figure. Yeah. Christine wants this to be amiable. She wants it to be a good talk, wants them to be able to communicate freely as normal individuals who have children. But Kody's shitty. Big surprise there. He's all upset. His jacket's all stretched out. It's not fitting right on him. His arms are all loose. He's swimming in this thing now.
His hair looked crazy for a second when he came in. It was falling on his face. He's not really got the post-divorce comeback look, the revenge look yet.
He did not glow up.
No.
Let's put it that way. They awkwardly hug at the table.
I was weirded out by that.
Well, yeah, because Meri was getting fake hugs from Kody's coat and Robyn, and then Christine's getting real hugs, and it's like, I don't know which one was worse.
Well, Kody sits down and he says, are we ordering or are we talking about business first? Business?
Business? My sister wife's closet?
I'd personally recommend that they each order a large margarita before they start talking.
No, I don't think Kody should. I feel like he would just get very upset. He would either get angry or he would start crying. Those are his only two options.
I feel like he'd start crying. Then Christine clarifies, it's not about business. Our child, but not business.
Our what? Oh, yeah.
I am kind of wondering, we don't know exactly when this happened, but we know that they both announced their divorce at the same time on social media, November 2nd. I am wondering if they had a little sit down and came up with what was going to be written in that.
Well, Christine drafted it. We know Kody had zero input on that. He said, just send me the image and I'll post it.
She said, you good with it? And he said, yeah, just text it to me.
She probably had to schedule it into his phone as a scheduled tweet.
Well, pause that conversation because we're going back to Robyn's house.
Okay, yeah, we're cutting back to Meri and Robyn, and the editors, again, tried so hard to intercut their first conversation on this show ever, and we just didn't get there because there needs to be more of a connection between if the conversations were similar, or if they had similar talking points, or maybe if there were things that were being directly contradicted that were being stated, something like that. That's when you would want to intercut a conversation. Otherwise, just stay there. That's what we're used to.
But we're going back to the Shiraz Chateau where Meri is confused by what Robyn is asking.
Robyn's needing tea. She needs sustenance. She needs
more ammo to be mad at blame more people in this family.
She needs supply.
Yes.
Is what she needs.
She needs to feed Kody's narc supply, and they're running out
and
quickly.
Her own, yes, as well, because they've been holed up here and they do not have fresh supply.
Meri's like, I don't know, either we were really good actors or she had blinders on because we weren't perfect, but we were like good. I mean, we were the best family. To which I say, Meri, you were not good actors.
No,
can confirm.
Nobody was good actors on the show. Nobody.
We all saw through what was going on. And that actually is, in fact, why this show is so intriguing to people. We were introduced to the Browns at the same time as Robyn was coming into this family and saw that this functional family was not what they claimed to be, yet Robyn was completely fooled by them.
The deception!
It's almost like how Kody was fooled into marrying Meri.
And Christine, and probably Janelle. Once Janelle decides to officially leave too, then he's going to be tricked into marrying her too, in hindsight.
But she's finally caught on, maybe my reality wasn't the family's reality. From the mouth of the woman who literally made a fictional photo of her children with Kody prior to them ever being in each other's lives.
I'd say alternate reality is definitely right up at the top there. Top of the list for reasons why you're having a rough time with this. I just like that Robyn admitted that she needed to find a good family to latch onto so her kids would have a good family because she wasn't able to give them that. And her divorce was so horrible. So she needed to find somebody else to just attach to.
Like a parasite.
Yes.
Well, she's the victim, Corey. She chose this family because she thought it was a safe place for her kids. And now she's going to cry about how it wasn't, that everyone destroyed their dreams and that her kids' feelings are hurt because of their actions.
She was bamboozled. That's what happened. The damage to Kody's relationships with his other kids, that was all secondary. That doesn't matter. Her pain is what's real. That's what's happening.
She is really the advocate of children in this family, is she not?
Very much so. I think my favorite part of all the clips when they were talking about how functional of a family they were and all the flashbacks that they were showing was the Valentine's Day flower delivery that Kody was doing, which if that is your example of functional in this relationship, go back and watch that scene with audio and see how fucking weird it was. It was so uncomfortable.
We do get Janelle and Christine acknowledging that things changed when Robyn joined the family. They're not trying to throw her under the bus here, but there was a marked change. They stopped getting together. All their family traditions stopped, and I would add, changed to Robyn's preferred traditions. And this is just peak irony, since Robyn is crying about how they can't have a Christmas where they're not all together. Yet, the story we're getting from Janelle and Christine is that not getting together has been the theme of this family pretty much since she joined it.
Well, and Kody was even trying to talk about the dysfunction of the first 20 years of plural marriage. So I guess he's trying to say that everything was horrible until Robyn joined the family. That's probably his interpretation. That's probably his stance and his view on it. But I like that Janelle and Christine immediately pointed to, well, this was a big shift. Everybody was failing miserably at polygamy. Don't get them wrong. But at least they were trying. And then after Robyn joined the family, there wasn't as much trying that was going on after that. It was just Robyn and her kids. That was it. That was the focus now.
Meri's not really talking enough shit for Robyn in this convo, so then she has to directly ask her, are you having a hard time with the whole divorce, with Christine leaving?
If you're not going to give me anything useful, then I'm going to ask you painful questions until I see you're uncomfortable and you're hurting.
Dig a little deeper. For some reason, Meri's confused about what happened to her and Christine's relationship that she thought was so great that they had all this fun together. And we just came off of season 12, where Christine invites Meri into her library to tell her that she is such a horrible human being that she prefers her to not be around. So what got lost in translation?
Out of nowhere, Christine doesn't want relationships with anybody. Things used to be so good and fun. They used to laugh a lot. Oh, the laughs. Not like the catfish laughs, but similar laughs. But then Christine telling, not only does she want a divorce from Kody, she wants a divorce from everybody. She doesn't want to be around any of these people anymore. Well, except for Janelle. I like Janelle. The rest of you can go kick rocks. And Meri was feeling so angry and betrayed. But she's been going to therapy, and she realizes those are secondary emotions. The real emotion at the core is sadness because she is Eeyore. Depression.
That is her permanent baseline in life. But then Robyn has to prove that she's the martyr of this family because Christine came in here and said she didn't want anything to do with us anymore. Well, if it was me, I would still choose our family. Even if I didn't believe in our religion anymore, it wouldn't matter for me. I would still make sure that I stayed part of this family.
And look, Robyn doesn't want to judge Christine, but she will.
Okay, that killed me.
Anytime you're going to start a sentence with, I don't want to judge them, but I'm gonna.
She has consistently judged Christine through this entire divorce.
Through the whole everything.
She didn't try hard enough. She didn't go through the right means to obtain a divorce.
It doesn't count. It's not real until you have sex with another man.
It's not fair that you don't want to have anything to do with the rest of our family because I still would if I was in your shoes. So
no, you wouldn't. How much contact do you have with your ex-husband, Robyn?
0.
Less than 0. None.
Meri's been down this road, though. People tell her all the time that she's just sticking around because she's afraid she won't go to heaven if she leaves. But that is pure bullshit. She is staying because she wants that D. That's what she's holding out hope for. Heaven, hell, doesn't matter to her. She's looking to get that turkey basted while she's here on Earth.
Oh, God. Oh, no. It's She's going for the spite fuck, the resentment. She wants the make-up sex at the end of this, because a 15-year fight, that's got to be some good make-up sex at the end of that, right?
Is Meri a Black Widow?
No, what is it when the guy bangs the girl and then they just stop interacting for the rest of their life until the woman dies of old age? What is that? What is that called? Is there a term for that?
That's what he did to her, right?
That's what he's working on right now. We're in the process of that. It's a long and tedious process.
But Robyn's not trying to tell anyone what to do. But that's why I'm kind of saying we need to carry the torch, because he's been carrying it a long time and he's tired.
Robyn is expecting Meri to help carry the torch of keeping the family together because Kody's done and he's tired. I think everyone is just now realizing that Christine was actually the glue holding this entire family together.
You're right. Christine's been running with the torch for years.
Everybody's having the simultaneous realization that, oh no, when Christine's not there to send out the group text to everybody, nobody wants to come to this stuff. If it's just Robyn, Kody, and Meri, nobody's coming to that party.
I was also confused because it was like, wait, what are they actually talking about? Do they mean that they need to take the responsibility of driving these relationships forward? Because then Meri says she's open to conversations. But what she's worried about is that Kody is going to expect there to be 100% all the time perfection. And that he, of course, is not going to recognize any support that she's giving the family or to him.
Well, that was going to happen either way. But that goes without saying, Meri. Kody is never going to recognize any support that he's getting from any of his wives.
And then once again, Robyn tries to inspire hope in Meri by telling her that she can see that sometimes Kody will be mad at someone one day and then he'll completely change his tune the next. So I guess she's implying to Meri that Kody might just wake up one day and no longer hate her.
Yeah, I think there's medications for that you can take on a regular basis. What's the word for that? Robyn the Kody Whisperer. Might be a diagnosis of some kind. Maybe we should get that checked out.
But Meri also has some insight into Kody's mental health. He doesn't smile. He doesn't laugh. He doesn't joke. At least not when he's around me.
At least not when I'm around.
That joke just wrote itself.
Oh, man. It's just brutal. Yeah, she's just now noticing the Kody scowl, which has been permanently fixed to his face since 2016.
The unfortunate thing about all this is that Meri is still in a place of wanting to work things out with Kody at the beginning of this season. So clearly, we're going to watch Meri lose hope throughout the rest of these episodes. Something tells me it's going to be a long, very slow journey to the end.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is just rough. To see Robyn stringing Meri along more than Kody. Kody has passed that torch onto Robyn. He's like, I can't string Meri along anymore, so you're going to have to do it for me.
She's been doing it for years now.
She has.
To make switching to the new Boost Mobile risk-free, we're offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
So why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Because you have nothing to lose. Boost Mobile is offering a 30-day money-back guarantee.
No, I asked why wouldn't you switch from Verizon or T-Mobile?
Oh.
Wouldn't.
Because you love wasting money as a way to punish yourself because your mother never showed you enough love as a child?
Whoa. Easy there.
Yeah.
Applies to online activations. Requires port in and auto pay. Customers activating in stores may be charged non-refundable activation fees.
If you're ready for an epic family vacation, there's no better place than sunny Orlando. Exciting thrills, never-ending food festivals, fresh new dining experiences, outdoor adventures, and Florida's natural springs, and so much more. Orlando has it all. And Visit Orlando's vacation planners can help you plan the perfect trip. In Orlando, anything is possible if you can imagine it. And that's what makes Orlando unbelievably real. Plan your escape today and save at visitorlando.com.
This Halloween, ghoul all out with Instacart. Whether you're hunting for the perfect costume, eyeing that giant bag of candy, or casting spells with eerie decor, we've got it all in one place. Download the Instacart app and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time, minimum $10 per order, service fees, other fees, and additional terms apply. Instacart, bringing the store to your door this Halloween.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
We all have dreams. Dream home renovations, dream vacations, or sending our kids to their dream colleges. But finding straightforward ways to turn those dreams into realistic goals, that's where things get tricky. Merrill understands that. That's why, with a dedicated Merrill advisor, you get a personalized plan and a clear path forward. And having the bull at your back helps your whole financial life move with you. So when your plans change, Merrill is with you every step of the way. Go to ml.com/bullish to learn more. Merrill, a Bank of America company. What would you like the power to do? Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, member SIPC.
Meanwhile, back at Salsa Brava.
Apparently they've ordered and received their food.
Which is good. Maybe that's what they had to cut around. They didn't know how to edit that out.
It was just like 25 minutes of them staring at the menu in silence.
Waiting for the food to arrive.
I would have watched that.
I would have.
Well, having to meet up with Christine for the first time since she moved is actually really inconvenient for Kody because he had already scheduled and planned out some time where he was going to spend hating her.
Yeah, especially while she shit talks him to the kids and gets everybody against him.
I can't wait for him to see the kids just shit talk him without anyone prompting it later this season.
Well, they're brainwashed by the moms.
Oh, right.
That's not my innocent little babies, my tender-aged children.
It's time to get down to business, and Christine gives Kody the deets on the Christmas plans. They're going to come down a few days after Christmas, and then they're going to stay till New Year's.
And Cody's like, okay, great. You still going to test when you visit?
This man's first thought is not, wow, I'm going to miss Christmas with my daughter. It's, will you guys take a COVID test before you drive down here?
And Christine's like, I haven't thought about COVID in months because I haven't seen Kody. I forgot how into this he is because the rest of the world has gotten vaccinated and moved on to some extent.
But there's a reason for this. It's because Rora didn't get COVID.
Aurora still hasn't had COVID. Rora, Rona-free.
So even though everyone else in Robyn's house had it, they still have someone who is susceptible to getting it.
You had to think that for a brief moment, too, when Kody asked Christine if she was going to get tested. Did she think STD testing? She's going to have to come back clean before he's allowed to give Truly back to her or something?
I don't know, but if I were them, I would be like, 100% we're going to get tested. And then I'd be like, we're positive. It looks like we're not going to be able to spend Christmas with you and Robyn.
Damn, what a shame.
In fact, everyone in Janelle's household also has COVID. So we're going to spend the holidays together quarantined.
See, they went the wrong way with this. Everybody was trying to lie to say that they didn't have it. You need to lie and say that you do.
Then they'll stay far away. You don't need to come up with any other excuse for why you can't spend the holidays together. That is good enough.
That would have been golden. The real kicker in this conversation for me, as Kody is going on and on about COVID and how Aurora, God's gift to this earth, blessed angel, sacred sacrament, saint of saints, was not touched with the vile curse of COVID because God bestowed his grace upon her. He's on his phone at this point in the conversation. It's in his hand. He's scrolling. And that was Christine's biggest complaint when she was talking about divorcing. All he does when he comes over to my house is he sits in the corner, he sulks, and he scrolls on his phone.
I guess old habits die hard.
He was even, at one point, he was holding his napkin like it was his phone. I thought he started swiping with his thumb on it, just out of instinct.
Well, Christine tells us that she is going to drop Truly off at Robyn's house. She's going to stay in the car. She's not getting out. She's blowing out of there.
I'll honk the horn when I come back in an hour.
There is no way that she's planning to hang out with them for even a second.
Send her to the end of the driveway. I'll be waiting.
Remember when Janelle was waiting at the end of the driveway to go see the Darkers?
The Darkers, yeah. That was right before COVID hit, too.
It's going to be exactly like that.
Hurry, the tire's getting flat. Jump in.
Then as they're talking, Gwen comes up in the conversation because she's not going to be around for the holidays. And Kody brings up about how out of it he was for her birthday. Because again, Gabe and Gwen are born very close together. And that's when he had COVID.
So not only did he miss Gabe's birthday, he also missed Gwen's.
Well, it does sound like he called Gwen.
It sounds like he called Gwen because he was really, really out of it. He was in a dark place.
And she relayed what that was like to Christine, who is laughing about how Gwen had described Kody when he was sick.
It's a little funny. It's a little comical. I wish we could have heard some excerpts from that conversation. Would have been nice.
Kody right away was like, what, was she thinking that was funny?
No, it's just because you're a baby when you're sick.
Well, it's because he's a narcissist, so he can't experience shame. So he doesn't like that he was being laughed at.
Being mocked. And look, I will be the first one to say, I hate this cliche that men are overly dramatic when they're sick. But I do believe this 1,000% with Kody. I believe that he was incredibly overly dramatic. As soon as he showed us the thermometer, which was barely clearing 99 degrees.
He was so shitty that she said that. And then it was like, no, I mean, you can mean it that way. It's okay.
Because you're mean like that.
The look on her face was like, whoa, it's starting to escalate.
She couldn't believe it. COVID was torture, though. Kody couldn't breathe. He couldn't sleep. That's why you should get vaccinated, bro.
Also, do we think maybe he couldn't breathe because he was having anxiety about the fact that he had COVID and his entire family had COVID, and he's been so worked up about it this whole time?
And he realized that he forgot Gabe's birthday and had to call him back again and say happy birthday.
Christine's trying to save face by explaining that it was just Gwen's description of it was funny. That's what was funny, not that you had COVID.
I was on the floor in the fetal position, sobbing, Christine. You heartless monster. You vile wench.
Where is that footage? We want it. The people want it.
I'm surprised he didn't do some cell phone footage of those dark, dark moments that he had. Probably because he wasn't doing that. He was watching Sports Center. He was just chilling out, watching TV, hanging out.
Coughing a little bit
here and there. Napping, snoozing.
Driving Robyn to the hospital.
But he's not laughing. He's never been laughing. Don't worry, Kody. We'll do enough laughing to make up for it.
The ending of this episode was quite poetic, though, because after he says, I haven't been laughing through this whole thing, we cut to Christine laughing hysterically on the couch and saying, I'm not married to him anymore. It's so freaking awesome. And that is where we conclude season 18, episode 1.
And the trailer that we got at the end, it was basically this season on Sister Wives. It was the trailer that we saw, but there was also one little extra line from the conversation with Kody and Christine continuing at Salsa Brava that it turns out Kody has anger issues. I don't know if you're aware of this. I don't know if you've heard about that. So we're going to dive into that a little bit more. Looks like next week.
We do have an episode description for next week, though. Are you ready for it? Next episode, Christine and Kody struggle to keep things cordial. Then Kody regrets the family being separated at Thanksgiving. And Peyton updates Christine on a situation between the kids and Robyn. While Aurora gets her ears pierced, Kody reveals part of his past.
You know, I got my ears pierced when I was 20.
I cannot wait to see what that storyline is all about, because if this is what Robyn and Kody are delivering this season, I think you're on your way to getting a pay cut. That's for sure.
Humdrum, I believe would be the term.
Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the podcast and leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Be sure to chat with us about the episode on our Discord channel by joining our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod.
Stay tuned, share with friends. See you next week.
Cheers to fall at Whole Foods Market with sales through October 29th. Select frozen pizzas are 50% off with Prime. So stock up and be ready for game day. Hosting a cozy dinner? There's a sale on hearty no antibiotics ever beef chuck roast and stew meat. Or be the best guest ever and bring a robust bottle of Bordeaux wine or a specialty cheese like Humboldt Fog. Cheers to fall at Whole Foods Market. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly.